I think it's very plain that localism and growth are two sides of the same coin. A year ago, at this very same conference, I suspect some of you had your doubts. I'm not being telepathic. You wrote a lot about it, so I know you had your doubts. And you've seen us remove the regional spatial strategies and ask, well, what's next? But a year we've delivered on our commitments. The new homes bonus, the first payment, have already been made. We brought forward the localism bill. It's very close now to royal assent. It spells an end to the regional strategies and a start, an important start, to neighbourhood planning. We've begun consulting on the change of use of class orders, which will make it easier to turn old, empty offices into homes. We've confirmed £4.5 billion worth of investment in affordable housing. And we've been working with lenders to unlock the mortgage market. In the budget, we confirmed that the first buy scheme would help 10,500 first-time buyers getting a foot on the ladder. And we've been consulting on a new draft of planning framework, which at the heart is a presumption in favour of sustainable development. Planning needs to be positive. It needs to help and to seek out and deliver responsible, careful development that the country needs. You kind of know that it's time for reform when planning costs have grown at the same time as a number of applications have fallen. When delays cost the economy around £3 billion each year. And when planning restrictions mean that office space is more expensive in Manchester and Birmingham than they are in Manhattan. I've got a brilliant phrase here in the speech, which is a marvellous example of civil service understatement. The consultations have started a lively debate. If you want to have a say, now is your time. So I welcome the property week has spoken out. Good for you. Good for you to bring some balance. Saying that though you have been, I have to say, I issue this warning to you fairly gently. You've been fairly controversial in terms of what you've been saying, which is that growth is good. They're saying that properly planned development is a benefit, not a burden. And heaven forbid, this is really controversial, that good design make places that stand the test of time. It's not just houses, but places that people are proud to call home. In communities that work, in easy reach of jobs and schools and doctors and shops and libraries and leisure centres. Good planning makes good communities happen. Taking all the government's different reforms together, we've created a platform. We've put in place the right incentives and investments, and we're just beginning to see the first fruits. Thanks to your very rapid response, the first buy allocations were announced in June, just 3 months after we announced the competition, and already the first homeowners are putting their feet under the table of their home. House builders and social landlords have risen to the challenge of new affordable rent models, and frankly they've exceeded our expectations. We thought that we would be able to provide 150,000 allocated houses by 2015. Now, thanks to the quality of the proposals, we estimate that we could deliver up to 1,070,000. And although the conditions are still tough, then the average deposit that has been necessary has dropped. I want you to have the confidence to plan ahead and to make the most of the opportunities our approach gives. But there are three things to bear in mind. Firstly, that localism is here to stay. No developer can rely on strong arming, on housing targets to get their development built. The best already know that if they work with people, if they work with communities, if they're able to get into that proper partnership, they will have an opportunity to build something that everyone will be proud of. And if you're able to deliver to communities what they want, they're more likely to say yes. In places like Southgate and Totnes, the developers have listened hard to local people to design new homes in line with what they want. In Fishkey, in North Shields, residents are getting together to say what they think the future of their hometown should be. So if communities tell you what their family home would like to have gardens, that they'd like to see better quality materials, good design, work those into your plans, listen to local people, and you will be able to unlock growth. When our reforms truly start to bite, developers who don't take local views into account will quickly fall behind. Secondly, lenders have a key role to play in driving growth. There's no point in building if no one's buying. We know that there is still a burning desire among young people to own their own home. I can remember an enormous sense of pride and ownership when I bought my first home. Even the modest drop in deposits, it's still tough out there, including for people with good jobs and steady incomes. It's time for mortgages to come in all shapes and sizes. And I think there are some very encouraging signs with innovation within the market. Chelsea have brought forward a 10-year fixed rate loan. Mates mortgages are still on the market. Some lenders and investments are thinking about shared equity mortgages backed by social capital. You lend to help a stranger buy, you take a share in the property. I want to see much more innovation like this. Third, owning a home will continue to be the ambition and the reality for the majority of Britons. But we need a high-quality private rented sector too, offering flexibility and a choice. And if institutional investments in home to rent supports growth and creates jobs, anybody in their right mind will be in favour of it. That's why we changed the stamp duty land tax treatment for bulk purchases of homes. Institutional investors no longer face a penalty. We're consulting on measures to make it easier to run real estate investment trusts. Canny house builders will be thinking hard about potential of the private rented sector. For example, many of you sell homes to buy, to let investors. This is important, but few of you commission, design and build for longer term, large-scale investment and management, and perhaps there's some scope for this in the future. We've got a foundation today, a basis to get Britain building again. We'll contribute to the right conditions for you this autumn. we will be publishing a housing strategy. So you can see what we're doing in one place and plan ahead with confidence. Housing could not be more important. It's a key way of boosting the economy. But I think it's also much more. It's much more than just adding value to the economy. And I really want, along with the new planning strategy, to be clear. Your job, my job, is to build communities that people can call home with a degree of pride. I don't want little boxes that look the same in Aberdeen as they do in Portsmouth. I want them to reflect the joy and the differences of the United Kingdom. I want them to be places where, when people go away on holiday and people ask them where they live, they talk about it with pride. It shouldn't be a place where you sleep between commutes. It should be a place that you can safely call home. And actually, I suspect that's why you got yourself into this profession. It's delivering that kind of quality environment. If I had an ambition, I'm speaking directly to builders, my ambition would be this, that you will be building things that in maybe 10 years' time, you just want, if you were close to the development, just to take a slight detour, just to see how the gardens were looking and how that house had bedded down and how that community was forming. We should be making people's lives better by showing what a partnership of good planning, good design, good consultation can make. And if we manage to do that, then we won't just be solving the housing crisis, we'll be actually enhancing the community. Thank you very much indeed.